What is up, y'all? OD here once again, aka Big Jake. And today we're going to cook up one of my favorite things to eat. We're going to smoke up some swordfish. So let's get it started. Alright guys, let's get this started. Check these things out. Swordfish steaks. They look great. They got a nice kind of pinkish white color to them. That's what you want. If you smell them, they don't smell of rotten, well, yeah, you know what. Anyways, they might have a nice or light kind of sea salt smell to them or ocean smell to them, or they may not smell like anything at all. That's what you want. You don't want your fish smelling like fish, basically, especially something like a swordfish here. So anyways, let's get it started. This marinade here is very basic. I want to thank DJ Bionic for this recipe here. This was one of the first things I actually helped him barbecue. He got me into barbecuing, him and my father, years ago. And he gave me this recipe, and it's a tried and true recipe, and I've been using it for years. So you're going to get some Gerard's champagne dressing. And you're going to get some Lowry's 30-minute marinade lemon pepper. Shake them up real good. Open up the tops here. It's, again, very easy marinade, and it comes out really good. Pour them in like this. Basically enough to kind of cover most of the fish. Kind of get it all around like that if you can, on all the sides. And then you're going to take half of a lemon. You're going to squeeze that in there. Just add it to the... Alright, now this is called 30-minute marinade. We're going to marinate it for a little bit longer than that. An hour and a half, 2 hours at the most. Don't do it any more than that, because when you do, your fish will end up getting mushy. So 2 hours at the most, probably an hour at the least, somewhere around there. We're going to cover this with foil. In about 30 to 40 minutes, we'll flip them over, and then probably in another 30 to 40 minutes, we'll go put them on the smoker. Alright, we will be back. Alright guys, swordfish has been marinating for, oh, let me check, probably about an hour and a half. Yep, about an hour and a half. We're going to do this on the Mac 2-star General today, my pellet smoker. I mean, you could do this on any kind of smoker you want, but this is going to work the best for me. Let me show you how I have this set up. Down here, I have the covers off of the flame zone, so you can see there's holes, and heat and smoke rises up to the top. I'm going to be putting the fish up here on the top grate. See this thing here? It's called a frog mat. You can go on frog mats. I don't know if it's frogmats.com, but I think it is. Google frog mats, you can buy one of those. I think Big Papa also just started making them, and you can go to bigpapasmokers.com and get some there. Here's what the swordfish looks like after it's been marinated. Obviously we don't need this here. Get off of there. Alright, put this in here on the tripod, and then we'll get these up here on the grill. By the way, I have my Mac set to the smoke setting. That's basically what it's on. It's reading 190 on the Pellet Boss, which is the temperature controller. And that's going to give me a temperature up here, because I know how this unit works, of about 205. So you want to cook this nice and low and slow, because right now we just really want to add a lot of smoke to this swordfish. There we go. That's telling me that it's up to temp. Put that down, and I like using that frog mat because it will keep the swordfish or whatever kind of fish or whatever you're cooking from sticking to the grates, and then you can still get smoke penetration coming up from the bottom, as opposed to if you're using foil. So anyways, we're going to smoke this real low, real slow for an hour, and then we'll come back. Alright y'all, swordfish has been smoking away on the Mac for about an hour, and here's what we're going to do now. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, and this is also why, again, I picked this unit out of all the units that I have to do this, because it's going to be the easiest. Excuse me, dog, I'm talking. I'm going to take this whole top grate out with the frog mats, just like that. I'm going to grab the frog mat with a pair of gloves, We're going to put it down here right on the bottom. That way we are cooking direct. We're going to bump this temperature up to 400 degrees. And we're going to sear this on both sides. Probably about 8 minutes aside, maybe even less. Probably not even that long. Probably 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Just basically till we reach an internal temperature of 140 degrees. And then we'll take it off. Alrighty? We will be back when it's done. Alright, swordfish steaks are done and resting. I want to tell you guys a couple things before I uncover it and show you the final product. One of the things I want to say is when I switched the swordfish down to the bottom grate and I bumped up the mac to 400 degrees, I could have taken them off and let the mac come up to temperature and then put them back on so that they got, you know, the ultimate sear on them, or whatever you want to call it. Some people do that. I don't really feel that's necessary because the mac gets up to temperature so quickly that you don't really need that. And I did end up cooking it, or cooking the steaks on both sides for 8 minutes each side. So it could get up to an internal temp of 140. It's resting now, covered in foil, which will get it up to an internal temperature of 145, which is USDA recommended for, you know, fish steaks, stuff like that. Also, another thing with those frog mats, and I don't know how the frog mats work exactly, but I think with the Big Papa ones, and Big Papa can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he has his heat rated up to 500 degrees, so that's why I put the mac at 400. That way you're well under the recommended cooking range, the top of the recommended cooking range, and you're still going to get a nice sear on the steak, and it's going to finish beautifully, in my opinion. Also, use a spatula when you flip the steaks, because once they get close to done, or they are done, and you start flipping them, they're going to fall apart. In fact, I only got one steak in here, the steak I'm going to eat, the bigger one, because the smaller one, it did fall apart when I was flipping it over. It just kind of happens. In fact, that's why a lot of people say cook fish to the point where it's flaky. So if you're cooking fish and you don't want to go by internal temperature, and you flip the fish over and it breaks in half and you can see inside that it's flaky, that means it's done. So anyways, let's check this out. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, look at that. And I only have a fork because you're not going to need a knife for this, people. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Check that out. Oh, it looks great. Let's take a little bite here. That is wonderful. You can lightly taste the marinade. You got that lemon in there. There's a hint of smoke. There's a little bit of that char flavor. As you can see, the outside of it was a little charred. Yeah, that's bomb right there. You can put more lemon on it if you want. I don't even think it needs it. You can serve it with tartar sauce. I don't think it needs it. My last dying meal, if it's up to me, would probably be something like this, like a swordfish or a thresher shark, even over, you know, a ribeye, a filet mignon, or ribs, or anything like that. So anyways, if you can find fresh swordfish in your area, cook it like this. It comes out great. Alright, I am OD'd, aka Big Jake. Thank you for watching. I'm hungry. I'm out of here.